Alright guys, today we're going to be knocking out some of the little knick-knack holes and rust on the body. Um, Hopefully we won't find any additional rust rot on the body or anything too major, but we're going to go ahead and start knocking that out and see what we find. So here's today's video. camera stopped recording for some reason, and there's hairline cracks right here. I used the marker to mark where the crack is. It will also make it easier for me to weld it by being able to see it better. But for some reason the camera didn't record it, so seems to be like body solder right here or something, because the way the metal is melting around this, there has to be body solder here. So I'll tell what happened was crack formed right there, and then they either filled it with solder or they did a light weld, tack weld, and then soldered it. But either way, the crack came back, so I'm going to figure out how to get off this solder. So you can see there's a problem here. Whoever owned this car before this guy used lead filler. Well, at least assume it's lead filler, and there's probably a crack under here, and he just put a ton of lead filler here, and it's hiding the crack. So now, as I'm grinding away this lead filler, it's melting back over itself, and it's making it hard to see the crack. So it's gonna be almost impossible to weld this crack. And there's a lot of lead filler in here. I mean, it is like probably a good 1/4 inch of lead filler in this thing. So I'm not sure what the owner's going to want to do with that. He may want to just go back in with more lead filler or replace the metal. I don't know. I don't think replacing the metal is going to be a good idea right now, because I don't know how much of this is lead filler and how much of this is the actual metal. But I'm gonna let the owner choose what he wants to do on this one. So far, most of the rust rot seems to be confined to this little area. There's some rust here. It looks like mostly surface rust. Right here, definitely surface rust. Rust towards the back. Most of it confined here though. guess I'll let the owner know, see what he wants to do. I may be able just to cut away this little square section and just put a metal plate there. It'll be a lot cheaper than placing the whole floorboard, but it's really up to him what he wants to do. So I have to get with him on that. I was gonna pull off the windshield, or the rear hatch windshield, but because of this, I'm gonna wait, because if the owner has me replace this, I don't want to have the front and rear windows missing, just because if it rains or anything like that, it'll just be better if the front and rear windshield are still in the car while I do any other interior work. Pretty rusted, but the metal still feels a little solid. You may end up wanting to replace this whole floor pan though. I don't know if I have enough light to do the driver's side, but let's see. For the most part, it actually looks alright, so. Still feels pretty solid, but obviously whoever owned this car previously didn't take the time to properly seal it before they started putting this crap on here. So one way or another, all this has to come off, and even if it is solid, come off, sandblast it to prevent any rust rot. But driver's side so far seems good, so keep pulling this crap off and see how it goes. Alright guys, so that pretty much wraps up what I'm going to do for the body for this video. You know, there's a couple of issues that we ran into, and you know, one of those issues was the driver's side and the passenger side floor pan. The floor pan on the passenger side is the worst. I may see if the owner wants to just replace the whole floor pan or just patch up the rust rot areas. I guess he'll decide on that. Whichever direction he wants to go, you know, I'll go ahead and help him out and put those in for him. As far as the pillars go, there's a lot of issues with the pillars as far as how much filler was in those pillars. And they were using the metal fillers, so I don't have any of the metal filler kits, so I can't fill it back in for him. And the more I knocked out, you know, the worse it got, and I never really found the crack, so we're just gonna leave that like that. So in conclusion, overall, it wasn't too bad of a day. The overall rust rot is not too bad in this car, given its age. So in the next video, I guess we'll see what the owner wants to do as far as floor pans, and then if he wants me to replace them, I'll replace them. If he doesn't want them replaced, which I wouldn't really understand why not, we're gonna knock out the glass, the front and rear windshield, to make sure there's no rust rot between the glass and the metal. I wanted to make this the last thing I do, just because once I take those off, you know, the car is going to be more prone to the elements. Even if I wrap it up and tape everything up, you know, it's just safer to have that glass on there. But I guess that's it for now, and I guess I'll see you guys in the next video.